I'm Melissa Lightman with Realty One Group Dockside, and welcome back to The Lightman Show. Before we begin, we publish a new episode every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
All right, everyone. I'm glad to see you again. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, yeah. Very excited.
So today we're going to do a little something different. Today we're going to talk about how to evaluate an offer. And for that, what we'll do, we'll run a scenario where you are going to be the seller
Okay.
and Angie, you're going to be the buyer.
Okay.
Don't be tough on
All
me.
right,
No,
so let's say we list your home at $250,000
Okay.
and you have an offer from the buyer. What's your offer, Angie?
My offer is $230.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
I know I'm very low. I'm hard.
I'm leaning on my realtor to help me out with this.
Offers $230, and I want $2,500 from you in closing costs. And it's contingent on financing, and it's contingent on selling my other house.
Oh, I'm right in. I'm in. Where do I sign for this deal?
Does that sound like a good offer?
I don't think so. See, I did a little home inspection on myself
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the house was okay. We only found a couple little things, so I think you're a little low on your offer. It's kind of insulting.
Well, you're talking about the home inspection way too early, because my plan is to get you on that later. But
But I was
You know,
trained by my
if you-
realtor.
You know how a lot of buyers think about it, right?
you don't like $230. What's your counter?
Well, I put a buffer in there because I have a realtor and I understand I'm gonna lose some money there. But it's gonna be well worth it based on my conversation with you. So go $245.
What about my $2,500 in closing cost?
Well, that will depend. It depends. It's contingent on you selling your home and contingent on getting financing, right?
Right.
Well, that would depend on how long that takes. So let's say you're 30 days out from buying today. Well, now my house is off the market for 30 days. I have to adjust for that. So if I'm coming down $5,000, I think you might be a little fair by working with me on that.
So what if I'm buyer number 2 over here, right? With a new offer, right? All right, and so buyer number 2, my offer as buyer number 2 is, well, I'll give you $230, right? It is still contingent on financing, but it's not contingent on selling my other home. And I want $5,000 in closing costs.
Oh, wow.
Wow, $5,000 in closing costs, $230. So now I've lost $25,000. Well, I'd have to consult with my realtor on this, and what would my upsides be to doing a deal like that?
So first thing, we're going to need to look at market value, right? That's the most important thing. So we look at comps, and usually if I am your agent or their agent, I would show you the comps for the neighborhood. So say your home, a home like yours in the neighborhood with the condition it's in, age, all that, is selling for about $240 to $245. Let's just say.
Okay.
So it would be fair for an offer to be at that price. Okay? So
Right.
that's what we would get back to the buyer at. Here are the comps, here's what the home is worth. Or what you can also do is also wait for the appraisal. But I would not recommend that unless the offer is higher than the price you're asking. So you see how that works?
I do, and I think going to you is my best option, because at that point, at least you're more familiar with the market and know what it's going to, well, not absolutely appraise for, but have a good idea on it.
Of how much it would sell for. Now,
Sure.
if you had, put it on the market at a higher price than market value, then I'd come and say, you know what, this is a fair, it's a fair price. I know you want $250, and because of 1, 2, 3, and you want to net a certain amount of money, but market value says $230, $235. So it is fair that it sells at that price.
Sure.
So if market value was 240, 245, then you would probably counter how to my second buyer option?
See, it all depends. It all depends on what's important to you as a buyer. Is it important to you that that you have some help with your closing cost, or is it important to you that you keep that
The purchase
agreement
price
the purchase
below.
price? Yes. So if the seller, for example, does not want to see less than 240 as an agreement on the listing price, a lot of times people want to see a certain number on that listing price, no matter what, which is not really a good thing because you have to look at the whole offer. You have to look at what your net is going to be, not what that number on the first page is. But unfortunately, they look at that, and so,
Sometimes on an offer too, that me as the seller, I might have an obligation to a bank. If you're offering me 230 and I owe 240,
yes.
now all of a sudden I'm paying you and taking money out of my pocket. So it's got to be fair on all sides. But I'm not going to tell you what I have, right?
Right.
It's not their business.
And I'm not going to tell you that I'm really willing to pay $239.
Exactly. And that's the game. We don't know. Neither side knows. So
You can only ask, right?
And when you're from a seller's perspective too, it's really important, like you said, sometimes it's the price that matters, sometimes it's the closing cost that matters to a buyer.
right.
You don't know which one is going to be more important to them. They may not be approved for 240, right? Or they may be approved for 240 but really can't afford it and need those closing costs because they don't have anything to bring to closing. So it depends. And from a seller's perspective, you don't know what's more important. So if I was you, right, I would probably counter back to me at 245 and tell me you give me 2,500 in closing costs.
Off the 230 offer?
Yeah.
Why did you expect me to come back at my full asking price?
Well, it was 250 before. So I expect you to come 245.
Yeah, and that's what I did, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And then 2,500, 5,000, because I was asking for 5.
Right.
And that way it'll help you evaluate what's more important to this buyer.
Right.
Right? Because when I come back
Absolutely.
to you, am I asking again for the 5,000 in closing cost?
Yeah, because they're tells.
And
Yes.
another thing, Angie, if, for example, I was your agent as the seller, I would have you have a contingency on the contract for you to sell your home by a certain date. Because we don't want your home to stay on the market off the market too long.
Right.
Right.
So that's another point.
Good point, because once you have an offer and it comes off, how hard is it to sell that house again?
Yeah.
But people say, oh, it didn't sell before, what's the...
What happened?
Right,
Yeah.
it
What went
puts
wrong?
something in someone's mind that say, I don't know about that house now.
Absolutely.
That's a good point.
You got to evaluate each offer based on all the contingencies. You got to think about all the contingencies that each different buyer is asking for, and pick the one that's right for you.
And that goes for the buyer, or the buyer's looking at the seller, seeing what's they're comfortable with by their counteroffer.
Yeah.
So, and that's where really having a realtor involved will help you work through that, because we don't know. I mean, we're just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah.
We're saying, in a live circumstance, my wife and I at one point put an offer in on someone and insulted them. And they said, we don't even want to talk to you anymore. Right,
And you
so-
know what, sometimes you can't help that because either the seller is misinformed or doesn't want to be informed.
Right.
Although he got, or she got the market comps, they still are stuck on that number that they
Right.
want
Yeah.
versus what they can get.
But asking the questions, I think, opens the door to both sides to know, hey, now I know where they're coming from, so we have an option to take the next step.
Exactly.
So,
The other thing I wanted to say is stay transparent. If you want to buy the home and you want to sell the home, the best thing to do is be transparent. Say, hey, I can't be approved for this much. I can be, work with each other. Transparency is a lot more, it's enticing. It's very encouraging to both parties, and that way you both know that, this person is serious and is honest, is trying to just sell or buy the home.
that's a good point.
Great.
My top pick this week is Waterbridge. This gated residential community is located in the most desirable school districts in Myrtle Beach, right off of Carolina Forest Boulevard, which is one of the most visited roads in the area. This area is a haven for the outgoing, with many cafes, restaurants, and great bars, and only minutes to medical care, grocery stores, and much, much more. Waterbridge is a young neighborhood. Homes here started building around 2013, and many are still building today. This community offers the largest pool in the area, a clubhouse, fitness center, volleyball courts, tennis courts, and a small boat and storage as well. There are about 500 sites in Waterbridge. 26 homes have sold in the last 12 months, with a price range of $349,000 and up to $640,000. The average days on the market is 117. There are 28 homes on the market, and 8 of these are under contract. Click on the description below to see what's available now.
Now go ahead and give us a like, comment below with any questions you may have, and share with your friends and family. Alyssa Lightman here, your host, and you can find me on social media. I want to thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.